Hello, friends. My name is Eric, host of Talking with Famous People. Today we're typing a gentleman named Nate Long, whom I was supposed to type yesterday, but I was too sleepy to type, so we rescheduled for today. I'm not sleepy right now. I'm good to go. I'm full of vim and vigor. All right. So, Nate, a question I want to ask, and it's just I like to see how people respond to it, is before I start, is there any background information that you would like to tell me before I start?
Um, I guess one thing I guess I want to say is I only I was into MBTI for quite a few years now, and when I first discovered it, I didn't really know that cognitive functions existed, and I stumbled upon C.S. Joseph's channel eventually, and I thought that he was like the best that there was. I didn't know that there was like any other like channel like yours, I guess, and I just recently found your channel like 2 weeks ago, and things have started to make a lot more sense, at least in terms of like how functions work for me, at least, because I had a lot of questions, and
Cool.
I guess that's basically all I want to say.
Okay, cool. Um, can you tell me which day was better for you this week, Monday or Tuesday?
Um, no,
Okay.
I really don't. They're pretty much the same to me.
If gave you a room, empty room, and a couple of chairs, a table, and various things you put in a room, uh, and I said, okay, here you go, move into this room. What are your thoughts before you start lifting furniture around? How do you decide where things go? How much thought do you put into that before you start moving things?
Um, I put I would probably think about like how much space each object takes up, and probably try to. I would lay out the room in a way that would leave the most open space in the middle, probably.
Okay.
And I would probably have a table in the middle, but I would want to put all like the furniture on like the outsides probably.
Okay. Would you bust out a tape measure before you started carrying things in?
No, definitely not.
Okay. Um, let's see.
Could you
Go ahead, Isaiah.
could you divide up into 8 steps the task of making a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Um, Grab the peanut butter, grab the jelly, grab the knife, grab the bread, put the bread on the plate, spread the peanut butter, spread the jelly, close the sandwich.
You're done. Good. Um, can you tell me who, in relation to me, my sister's mother's sister's daughter is?
Cousin.
Okay. How about my father's father's wife's only daughter in law's husband's only daughter in relation to me?
Sister?
Correct. Okay. If some fruits are peaches and all peaches have pits, is it necessarily the case that some fruits have pits?
Yes.
If all beavers make dams and some things that make dams also make roads, and if then can we conclude that some beavers make roads?
Yes.
I don't think so.
No. If all beavers make dams and some things that make dams also make roads, we cannot conclude that some beavers make
Yeah.
roads.
So all beavers make dams. Some
No,
beavers.
some things that make
Some
dams
things
also make
yeah.
roads.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna try some missing generalizations. Missing generalization works like this. If I were to say, you can't eat dinner in here, you don't have on a tie, then the missing generalization would be only tie clad people can eat here, or all people who can eat here must have a tie on. Okay? So here's another example. She must be good at science. Her name is Linus Pauling.
Only people that are good at science have the name Linus Pauling.
Okay, correct. Can you make it also valid using all instead?
All Linus Paulings are good at science.
No. All people good at science are Linus Paulings.
Okay, yeah, you're right.
Okay, I'm going to make up the first two lines of a poem, and I want you to provide the second two lines of the poem. There once was a large, happy pumpkin that grew in a wide open field. It's working. He's just not saying anything.
Oh.
I can't think of a rhyme for pumpkin.
Bumpin'.
Munchkin.
If I give you bumpin', can you finish it?
There, can you repeat the first?
Sure. There
again?
once was a large, happy pumpkin who lived in a wide open field.
It,
Isaiah, can you finish the poem?
Yeah. Okay. So hold on. Say it again. Do the pattern.
There once was a large, happy pumpkin who lived in a wide open field.
Okay. In time he wheeled off, and the Munchkin took took the task of a little veal. I don't know.
Okay. All right, let's try a couple Inky Pinkies
I was
with you.
trying to do the
Okay.
regular
Let's try a
thing.
couple Inky Pinkies.
I know what the Inky Pinky is.
You know what it is. Okay.
Yep.
So I'll try to do ones that are new so that you won't have heard it before. If you have heard it before, let me know and I'll do a different one. How about um, yeah, Isaiah, if you can think of one, go for it too.
Yeah.
I'm just sort of trying to blank of ones I haven't used
Okay,
before.
so
Let me think though. You
I
think
got a
too.
really easy one.
All right, go for it.
So this is just a. Well, can it just be 1-1?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So this is just a 1-1. So that just means that does he get the concept? Have we
Yeah, yeah.
established?
Yeah,
Ink,
he
Ink
says he
Pink.
understands the game. He understands it.
Okay. Wet lighting, and it's a 1-1. So ink pink.
Wet light? That
Yeah.
can't be right.
No, it's right. I got the
okay.
answer.
Okay, okay.
Wait, Eric. So you got it.
Yeah, I understand. I know what the answer is.
Yeah, yeah. Do you give up?
Oh, did I say it? I thought I said it. Wet light.
No,
No,
that's the clue.
Right.
That's the clue.
Oh.
The answer
Yeah.
is two words that rhyme.
Oh, rhyme. Right. I forgot.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's damp lamp. I'll
Yeah.
give you another one. Okay.
I already got another one too.
So this is to coddle. It's an event in which outdoorsmen are coddled, and it's a 2-2.
Coddling is like holding, kind of, right?
It's like spoiling, I guess,
Oh, okay.
to spoil somebody.
It's an event.
Well, it's not event isn't in the answer, but the point is, if you were to say, we're going to then it would be the thing that you'd be describing would be an event where outdoorsmen are coddled.
Outdoors.
What's the syllables?
It's 2-2.
Okay.
This weekend we're going to the meow 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 meow. What's that? It's an event where outdoorsmen are coddled.
I've got something, but I don't think it's right.
What do you got?
Like spoiling, toiling, or something. But I don't think that's right at all.
Nate? You know? Rachel doesn't know it.
No. I didn't even know the first
I
one.
just can't think of anything for woodsman.
You're gonna kick yourself. It's a camper pamper.
Oh.
It's good.
That's good.
Okay, yeah, now here, Nate,
I'm
let's test you this
terrible
way.
at these.
This is probably a more robust test anyway. Can you come up with some of those to test us with?
Okay, one sec. A lengthy quilt. Inky pinky.
Say that again.
Okay, a lengthy quilt, inky pinky.
Okay, never mind.
Fuck, I forgot the answer.
Or come up with another one then.
Okay. Oh no, I remember now. Lengthy quilt.
Okay. Let's see.
Inky pinky.
It's Inky Pinky.
I'm thinking it's got to be either blanket or
Yeah.
or perhaps there's another word I thought that it could be besides blanket. I don't know what would be lengthy.
Lengthy.
What's besides blanket? Let's see. Cover. I give up.
Attitudinal.
A lanky blanky.
A lanky blanky.
Oh.
Excellent.
Oh my God.
Excellent.
I was thinking lengthy.
Damn.
Lengthy is a good enough synonym
I
for
think lengthy would work.
Yeah, like that works. It works. What threw me was the blankie. You see, it's the diminutive form of blanket that
Blanket.
caused me to get caught up there. Okay, so let me ask you the invention question. I'm going to come up with a new invention, but I'm really bad at coming up with names for inventions. So I'm going to ask you to be my marketing department and present me with 5 possible good names to market this product as. Okay. All right. So the invention I've come up with, it's 1/2 shovel for digging in the garden, and coming out of the side of it is an attached megaphone, so that in case while you're digging you need to make some announcements, you don't have to even put the shovel down.
Perfect.
But all I can think to call it is shovel with megaphone attached, and that's not going to do as a name. Can you help me market this?
The loud spade.
A little racist. let's just say a little racially provocative. We'll probably nix that in the marketing department. Some people may interpret it as such.
I'm at this point.
It's like you also can't say you're gonna have a nip of brandy anymore because
Oh my god.
it's it's the same thing as saying there's a chink in the armor. There's a problem there. I don't want to be niggardly about the whole thing, but there's other words you can't say as well.
I wonder if these words are going to be like so removed from our
I wonder
language.
too. I wonder how it's going to handle.
Yeah.
I wonder how the YouTube algorithm's going to handle that. Anyway,
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Microphone show.
microphone shovel. Okay.
Yeah.
That's not my answer. I'm just saying that.
He's
Okay.
just musing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Musing aloud.
Remember, we're aiming for the soccer mom demographic, so if you can think of something that's going to appeal to them, that would also be nice. They're the ones who like the garden.
They're the ones who are always outside too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they're always pumpkin picking.
You
Craft
You
making.
constantly see soccer moms picking pumpkins.
Yeah.
You know that they do.
They've always got their own little like private garden too.
Come on, marketing department. Come on, admin. It's toasted.
I don't know.
We're gonna pay you the big bucks.
The dig and dictate.
Dig the sprouting while you're shouting.
Shovel
Oh,
me,
nice.
shovel me some loudness. Shovel me some loudness is a great name for it.
The dirt and spurt. The spit while digging
The
shit.
shouter shovel.
The manure convulsion microphone maker.
Supervisor shovel.
Supervisor shovel. That's easy
That's
enough.
very good. Oh,
Okay, let's.
I don't know.
Have you ever heard the troll question, Nate Long?
I have not.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the troll question. It's basically like a choose your own adventure kind of a story. Okay. Now,
Okay.
as in answering this question, you can talk to me, the narrator. You can talk to other characters in the story, and then I'll take on the role of that character and talk to them. You can do things in the story, and so forth. So, okay. You are the mayor of a Middle Ages town. This town is cut in two by a river. On one half are the towns, villagemen and merchants and such, and on the other half are the farms and the farmers and the food. And there's a bridge, and the food goes from one side to the other, and the goods go from the other side back. So anyway, one day the bridge washes out, and a river troll comes and takes up residence in your river. You've begun moving the food and goods across in boats. However, the river troll has a magical power, and he can run up to any boat that has any piece of food on it, even if it's just one slice of bread or a whole dead cow, and he'll take 10% of that food before anybody can even notice he was there. It's his magic power. You can't stop him from doing it. You can't hide the food from him on the boat anywhere. Even if it's inside of 10 boxes, he uses his magic power to get 10% of that food out of there. So, the thing is, you have just enough food saved up to feed everybody throughout the winter. If you let the troll do this with all the food that goes across the river, then by the end of the winter, your people will have starved. Some people will have starved, not the whole of the people, but 10% of your people will have starved. So they're clamoring for you to do something about this. What do you do, Mayor?
I mean, my first instinct is just build a bridge.
Okay, so you can't build a bridge again until spring. The weather's not good enough for it. You have to slog things through the snow. It's just impossible. There's no way. By the time you got the bridge done, it would be almost spring anyway.
Okay.
And the troll keeps sitting on it and breaking it anyway. Every
He's
single
not going to
time.
break the bridge because he knows you're never going to get it done by spring.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long is the bridge? Or like, how long is like
The river is quite wide, so
Okay.
it would be difficult for a man to throw a rock all the way across it. I don't think it's possible. You wouldn't get it all the way across, even if you're a very strong man.
Okay. And it's deep too?
It's deep. The river troll stays in the water all the time. Most of the time, he's sort of in the middle. There are some rocks that are big rocks in the river that kind of stick out. Sometimes he's near those, and it's fairly calm but fairly fast moving, like a big river.
Do I have a council?
Yes, you have a military advisor, you have a resources advisor, and you have your girl Friday who just generally is there to provide quips.
Okay.
The best.
Does the resource advisor have any advice?
Yeah, we don't have enough food. Like I told you, I've scraped together every possible way we can cut this into pieces, and there's no way we're gonna get through the winter without some people starving if we pay this 10% the whole winter. He's got this, he says it's a
Big
troll tax.
problem.
That troll tax. I mean, come on.
How long is the river in two directions?
It goes way over that way up into the mountains, and way down there to the ocean.
To the ocean.
Okay.
Miles and miles and miles.
Could we build? Do we have the technology to build some kind of slingshot or like a trebuchet?
Would you like to talk to the military advisor?
Yes.
Yeah, hi there, Mayor. We do have catapults, trebuchet. You have to refresh my memory. What exactly is a trebuchet? A giant crossbow?
Also, what is this for?
We're trying to. Girl Friday? Hey, you stay out of this. This is a military matter, okay? We don't need your quips right now. It's important business. Okay, so a trebuchet is a giant crossbow.
It's one troll.
No.
Hey, it's not just any old troll. It's a giant troll. Is that what's a trebuchet?
A trebuchet is a sling connected to a counterweight that swings
Oh,
backward.
I know what that is. Okay, it's like a catapult, kind of, right?
It is. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we got catapults. We call them catapults here. We don't call them trebuchets. Okay.
Okay.
We got regular old good old fashioned American catapults. We could try to catapult them. You mean catapult stuff onto them if you want us to. You want me to go call the catapult guys and bring the catapults around? We got some big rocks. We could catapult some rocks on them.
No. I'm thinking we catapult the food.
Catapult the food. That won't kill him. If you hit him with a bunch of bananas, he'll be fine. Why don't we catapult a rock or something heavy?
I'm thinking we catapult the food over the river and bypass the troll completely.
Oh, I see. Well, I mean, I gotta tell you, your food's gonna get kind of smashed.
We have beds outside.
I mean, I'm just saying, if you catapult food over and it lands on the ground, it's gonna get a little bruised, shall we say? Your produce is gonna get bruised. You know that, right?
So your
Are you willing
advisor,
to risk bruising produce?
your military advisor is advising you.
A Girl Friday? Listen, I know this isn't exactly my area of expertise, but I'm a human being too. I'm not just a military man. I care about bruised fruit.
Well, sometimes people don't know anything but layman's terms.
All right, fine. So you want to take the chance? We could catapult some food over. I mean, you might.
I'm thinking.
I'm not saying. I'm saying
Okay,
to
you said-
take your
you said-
advice.
Yeah, she's saying it. Okay,
Yeah,
anyway,
I'm
go
saying-
ahead.
You said the other side was a farming village, right?
That's where the farming stuff is. Unfortunately, the catapults are
Okay.
over here on this side.
No, that's good.
How are we going to catapult food from this
The
side
food
to
needs
that
to
side?
go. Oh. Okay.
I don't know if we got any boats big enough to take the catapults across. We could go build catapults over there. It might take a week
Okay.
or so. It might take a week or two, to build a catapult. We could build one.
Well, no one's gonna starve in a week.
Well,
I think
true.
on the other side could be a good idea.
I mean, look, every week we go without stopping this problem. That means by the end of the winter, 2 more people will starve.
We gotta fix
Okay.
this problem.
So it's not a big
Yeah.
problem because we can just make it be Jim and Bob, and I don't really like those guys, so they could, it's fine.
Yeah.
But other than that, I pretty much like everybody. So after this first week, we really should try to solve this problem.
Yeah, we really should because our
Okay.
rations are low, and it's.
All right, so you want me to go make
I'm
catapults?
sorry, but this
And
troll.
we've got some
This troll
violent.
is stealing.
Do you want me to go make catapults or what?
We've got a violent criminal population so that we can let them starve before anybody else. So.
No,
Yeah.
no. I'm sorry to tell you, we already lost them in the border
How do we
wars.
know which
We
ones are
sent
the
them out. We
criminals?
sent them out to fight the bordermen,
Such a tragedy.
armed with sticks and their fighting spirit. They didn't make it back. Anyway,
I like this.
you want me to go
Okay,
build the
okay.
catapults
So
now?
really, we've got this troll who there's a troll tax
Oh, wait.
and we need food.
Hold on, let's just proceed forward. Do you want me to build the catapult now?
I think building the catapult is a good idea.
Okay.
On the side, so we can transfer the food.
Okay, so you get a catapult built, and
Okay.
you do successfully catapult food over the river. That's one possible solution. Now,
Okay.
you've realized at a certain point that you have to catapult it very steep angle, or else the troll will jump up and get it. So when it lands, it is very much smashed. Okay, so I guess that doesn't really matter. You can still eat it. It's also a big pain in the ass because if you have, say, a bushel of wheat that's been threshed into flour, you can't just put the barrel in the catapult and just catapult it over, right? Because it hits the other side, it explodes into a big thing of wheat dust, you know?
Right. So then it ends up being waste.
So there's got to be, you're like, everybody in town is going, okay, this is a stopgap solution, Mayor, but I am tired of eating inertia flattened peaches, you know?
Yeah, man. And like bananas, they're not gonna last.
Right. If you,
Yeah.
it's like we're all eating baby food over here, Mayor. Come on. Come up with a better solution than this.
Eating black bananas.
Black? Oh.
Yeah, they're so bruised.
Yeah, they would be.
The troll's not happy either, by the way. He's in the middle of the river saying, "You are evading taxes. I am here in this river.
Yeah.
I am protecting you from
man.
river sharks, and yet I
It's a
am not
problem.
getting compensated accordingly. What's the problem here?"
I think. I mean, I'm still thinking the catapult. I would just put the wheat in bags. That way, it wouldn't explode.
Okay. All right. So, based on what you know about cognitive functions, what do you think I might be thinking now in general, having tested the tests I've done so far with you?
Any.
You might be you think I'm thinking any, and what else? Anything else?
Probably TE.
TE. Okay.
Not sure.
Are you saying that because based on what your answers are and your understanding of what I would interpret your answers are, or because you believe that's what your answers thus far revealed? Different question.
I feel like that's what my answers revealed. I really don't know.
All right. So, how many synonyms can you think of for the word adroit?
I don't know what that means.
All right, let me take a different word. It means like deft.
Like,
Deft, I guess is what it
Right.
means. But okay, let me think of a different word. How many synonyms can you think of for the word regal?
It's kind of embarrassing. I don't even know what that means.
Okay. How
It's
many
like-
Really sorry.
how many synonyms can you think of for the word um uh
unpredictable.
yeah.
Spontaneous. Happenstance. In the moment.
Okay. How about can you tell me a story about a pickle and two blue jays that at the end of it the moral that you're supposed to take away is it's important to not be too greedy but to also protect your self-interest. That's the moral.
So the first blue jay finds a whole nice big pickle on the ground, and his blue jay partner, or not partner, just another blue jay kind of flying by is like, "Wow, that pickle looks pretty good," and he comes over and he says, "Hey, can I have that? Can I have some of the pickle? It's pretty big. You're never going to finish it all. We're all both blue jays." So He says, and then he's like, "No, I think I want the whole pickle." And then the other blue jay says, "That doesn't make any sense. This pickle is too big for you. You really don't need that much pickles." What was the moral again? I'm really sorry.
Don't be too greedy, but also protect your self-interest.
Right. So the blue jay with the pickle decides, "I'll give you enough pickle for a blue jay." And the blue jay says, "Okay, that makes sense." And then they fly off, and then they're happy because the blue jay,
How
the
much
blue jay.
pickle is enough for a blue jay?
I mean, just like a little sliver. This is like a big pickle. I'm thinking.
Yeah. They're also huge blue jays, though. I didn't tell you that.
What?
They're the size of dogs.
Side note.
Oh my god.
They're dog-sized
no.
blue jays. Like, Labrador size.
By the way,
Okay,
we
okay.
decided to make them monstrous size.
Okay. Let's ask you some. Let me ask you an SI question, which is the one I usually rely on most, which is the retelling small details from your morning. Isaiah, can you retell small details from your morning for me, please, to demonstrate it?
I woke up actually a pretty regular time this morning. I did nothing but kind of just scroll through YouTube for a little while. I eventually went downstairs, got some coffee. I think what I ate for breakfast, I got some cereal. I had to clean the bowl first before I could even do it because we didn't have any clean bowls, even though we had a shit ton like the day before. So anyway, I put some soap in there or whatever, cleaned it. I cleaned like 2 dishes before I got to one that was not smelly even after I cleaned it twice. So I got kind of frustrated, and then I got that bowl and then it smelled okay.
Thank you,
I
Isaiah.
tried.
Okay, thank you. Nate, can you do that, please? For
Okay,
your day, though, not his.
I woke up. I kind of laid in bed for a little bit of time. I took a shower. I got out. I got dressed. I watched more YouTube. I've kind of just been watching YouTube all day.
Okay.
I think that's pretty much.
All right, so, if you have a kid who comes home and complains about being bullied at school and explains that they had their lunch stolen from them, what do you tell them? It's your 7th grade son, Bobby. Oh, Daddy.
I probably.
Oh, Daddy, I've
I'd
been
probably
bullied
just
today. My lunch has been stolen. Go ahead, please. I'm sorry for interrupting.
I probably tell him. I probably just give him money and get hot lunch. That way, the bully would have nothing to take.
I did buy lunch. That's the lunch he took. After I sat down, he came over and said,
Oh.
"This is my lunch now." I said, "But I bought it." And he said, "But I'm your bully, so I do things like this." And I couldn't deny that that was true, what he said.
I'd probably just call the school. I mean, you can't. You're not supposed to take people's lunches. That's just not like allowed.
I told the teacher, and she said, "Look, I'll deal with it later," but she never did.
I mean, if I called the
That's
school, though, wouldn't my authority
Okay,
as a
so
parent?
at what point would you tell your child, "Hey, remember, maybe that bully needed your lunch more than you did"?
I wouldn't dismiss that fact, but not that fact, but that possibility. But that wouldn't be something I would tell my child because that wouldn't really solve the problem in any way.
Okay. Isaiah, do you have some thoughts about questions to ask? I'm gonna step outside and smoke part of a cigarette and muse independently for a moment. Okay, well, you guys.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go back to. I guess I just want to have sort of like a casual kind of conversation.
Okay.
I don't know. That might help a little bit. I tend to
Well,
get a better stuff for
Yes,
yourself that
that's-
way. But anyway,
I've been drinking it, so you can drink mine.
Yeah, that's fine.
so you said you were into music, right? Are you actually like pretty proactive in being creative? Like, do you make a lot of songs?
No, but I've actually I just downloaded FL Studio and I'm trying to like kind of my creative process is really really weird to me. I can actually show you a drawing I made if you want. It's kind of just a doodle, but
Yeah,
it might show some insight.
bring it on.
Yeah.
Hopefully the camera quality picks up some of the detail, but
Oh, cool. Oh, wow.
Wow.
you can kind
Oh
of
my gosh, it's so detailed.
thank you. It,
Yeah.
basically
All right.
how it happens is I just kind of sit down, listen to like a podcast or something, and I just kind of like draw lines that I like think look cool.
Hmm.
And, it's pretty therapeutic for me. I really like doing it.
Interesting. So you have an eye for visual art specifically as well.
Yeah, I would say.
And precision. Because those lines are lines that are like you could definitely see the lines.
Hmm.
My drawing is sketches. I sketch. I doodle and I sketch. You have those are doodles, but I mean, it's pretty precise.
I mean, that was one of my more like focused ones, but like I have a lot of like sketchy stuff too. That's just kind of like me just going places. But like,
Um. So how are you with like? Because I mean, you seem pretty polite here. I guess. I don't know what I'm trying to ask. How do you fare with like I guess strangers in public? Like, how are
uh,
your interactions with them? Do you feel like you're awkward, or do you overthink things? You know, when you're having to talk to people, I guess, or I don't know.
with strangers, no. A lot more so with people I know. I feel a lot more not like I don't get worried, but like if I mess up, like in a social situation, like if I say something maybe that wasn't really like it like kind of ruins like the vibe in some way. Like I really feel like self-conscious about that. But like with strangers, it's more like if I need something, like I would never like encounter if a stranger just like walked up to me and said like hey, I'd be like I would just say hey, like there's no I would just I wouldn't really feel anything with like a stranger at least.
Okay.
I hope that answers your question. I don't know.
I mean, I don't know what I was trying to ask in that one anyway.
Have you heard me give remote associations test questions to people before, Nate?
I have, yeah.
Okay. Let me ask a couple of those. I'm not going to spend too much time on it because uh, it can be a little time consuming. But I'm going to go to a couple of I'm going to start with a couple of the more medium and hard ones. Okay, like dress, dial, flower,
Drice?
dress. I'll
Oh,
tell you what. I'm going to try a different approach to this time. I'm going to share my
okay.
screen, and if you can um, look at this, and you tell me which go down them and tell me which ones you know the answer to if one jumps out at you without spending a lot of time on any of them.
Fly clip wall. Is it buzz?
Paper, fly
Oh,
paper, paper clip, wallpaper. It's not words that something that has they all have in common. It's a each it makes a new word with each of them.
right. Okay. Age, mile, sand, stone.
probably out of key or off key.
Actually, it was just right.
Oh.
Any others you see?
Uh, Wagon brake radio day.
Station. Station wagon. Station brake and radio station. Station brake's kind of an old term.
I haven't heard that one.
Yeah, it's kind of a dated term. That's why I'm a little bit. One of the reasons why I'm a little iffy about this test. I find that older people do better on the younger people in general because of that. There's a lot of terms in here that are sort of deprecated.
That's interesting.
Dress dial
Anything else?
flower.
Pack animal, backpack, and pack rat.
Where is that one? Yep, pack.
Yep.
Okay, so you got a couple hard ones. This thing is of I'm not sure exactly how much weight to put in at this point. It seems promising at first, but now I'm not quite sure what it correlates with. So, regardless, I wanted to just sort of check it out. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We have to pin down where your extroverted intuition is. Your introverted thinking seems to be probably 1 or 2, I would guess. But we could try to confirm that with some more TI questions as well. Let me ask some value correlate questions, though. What do you think is more important for yourself to be? Efficient or fair?
It's a hard one.
What do you think is more important for others to be, efficient or fair?
Fair.
Okay. What's more important as an absolute value when they conflict? Kindness or truth?
Truth.
Okay. What do you find more appealing in another person? Concision or creativity?
Define concision. It's like
being able to say it in a short number of words.
creativity. I value.
Okay. What do you find yourself more able to provide others? Concision or creativity?
Concision.
Okay. I didn't get to see your picture that you were showing or whatever kind of thing that was. Could you show it to me?
I can show you on my phone.
Okay.
Actually, the light might not work.
Is
but-
this something you draw frequently?
Oh, I can show you the drawings that I took.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, the drawing.
Yeah, 1 sec. This is one of my best ones, but I don't usually go this far.
Okay. Wow. Detailed. So, if you were going to be asked what that's a picture of, would you have an answer to that question?
I mean, this one kind of looks like, from this angle, it kind of looks like some kind of weird animal. Like that looks like a head, like feet. I don't know what the hell these are, but it's all just kind of random lines.
Okay. If I were to, let's say you were, because you were just interested in doing so, you were taking a class on women's literature of the 20th century. Okay. And you get to class, it's the first day of class, and your teacher's there with a clipboard, and you're supposed to come check in, and you're the first one there, and you say, yeah, I'm Nate Long. Oh, thank God. I am about to give birth. My water just broke, and I've got to go to the hospital and get this baby out of me. So, listen, I'm almost certainly not going to be back before class is over, so you're going to have to cover this class for me. Please, here's the materials. Here's the syllabus. Just go over the syllabus. Just talk about the first book for a little bit and what they need to do. You'll be fine. I gotta go. Oh, contraction! And she hands you all the shit and runs away. Now,
Okay.
are you comfortable taking on that role as substitute teacher?
I would be nervous because I've never taught before, but if she gave me all of the instructions and like gave me like a presentation to present,
Okay, well, what she gave you was a syllabus, a stack of books, and a piece of paper with some notes she'd written herself. Like, one of them says like Margois? Question mark, referring to an author. It's not clear what she meant, really.
Yeah. I would not feel comfortable. I don't even know how I would begin that. Because I don't read many books, especially by women. Not to be offensive, but
The whole rest of the class, it turns out, is filled with ardent lesbians. You were the only dude in the class. She really picked poorly, this teacher, in picking her a substitute. Because right away they're like, why are you teaching this class on women's literature? Why didn't she pick one of us?
She's like, I knew Craigslist was going to be the
I would
easiest way.
honestly, in that situation, I would definitely just ask I would ask the class, does anybody else want to teach this? Because I don't know anything. I would just be straight up.
Okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, you'd be overrun by the kids, totally.
Okay, so let me see. Do you play any video games?
I play a lot of video games.
Can you tell me a couple of the video games you play?
I guess the main one, League of Legends. Regrettably, it's a terrible game. I just play it because I'm bored a lot of time and I can listen to music. But I play.
Is it a resource distribution game? Like a resource management game? Like you build up your troops and you spend it on this and that and then you go and attack somebody or something like that? Is that how it
It's
works?
kind of like that. You have like a specific character that has abilities, and then you buy items. Every game's different. It's just a competitive game.
Okay, so you play a single character. You're not like it's not like Sid Meier's Civilization or something where you.
I like that game too. No, don't get me wrong. I play a lot of different games.
Okay.
Um,
When you.
I haven't played that in a while.
Do you play the kind of games where you're on a mic and the other people who are playing online are on a mic and you go, like, go over there and shoot that guy, that kind of stuff?
Not really. If honestly, my favorite kind of games are single player, like super heavy emphasis on like the story and the message behind like whatever like what they're trying to get at. I really like visual video games with like good music and stuff like that. But single player games are probably my favorite.
And
Okay.
if you are on the mic, like with a bunch of strangers, in some sort of lobby, are you usually like disruptive or trying to be annoying or something, or try to be a dick, or it's like trolling basically.
Or you Fred. Come on, guys, we can do it if we work together.
I'm neither. I'm either trying to like communicate with my team as to like what we need to do, or I'm just silent. Because a lot of time I just don't even care. Like
Or
what
you scream
anybody-
at them.
I've never screamed. I don't get mad at video games. I don't really get mad a lot. In general.
Okay, so let's talk about what kind of like creative work and or vocational work you do. Do you have stuff like is drawing your primary medium or visual arts a medium that you work in a lot?
I can't say I really work in any medium a lot. I'm pretty lazy, honestly. But drawing is probably the most. I would say I draw more than I create drawings more than I create anything else. I would say.
Okay. If asked to judge a contest or be in a contest, and the contest is write 5 poems in 20 minutes, and the judge will say who has the totality of poetry goodness is highest amongst all the interests of this. Like the 10 people each contribute, each submit their 5 poems. The judges go, okay, totally in totality, these 5 poems are the best produce of work in the 20 minutes. So, do you want to be a judge or a contestant? Which job do you think you do better, and which job do you want? And which job sounds more fun?
A judge, definitely.
You'd rather be the judge, okay. I have a pretty. I believe I have a pretty good understanding of what you are, or I think I know what you are. Isaiah, do you
I
think?
think so.
I don't.
All right, first of
But
all, I think you probably think you're an INTP.
yeah, I think you're an ISTP.
I
That
think
was
you're
my
an
first guess.
ISTP as well.
That was my
Really?
first. Yeah.
Yeah,
We all think you're ISTPs.
yeah.
You've got dominant TI, and the thing you're extroverted intuition polar, uh, which is to say, when I well you saw how it played out with the shovel and the megaphone thing, right?
Yeah.
I know.
And and I tested it multiple times because, of course, this is why it's really important to know what you're doing when you're typing to somebody. You sure as fuck look like an INTP. You know, you don't look like an
Right.
ISTP.
Like, to,
You
if
don't
it's
you don't have that
stereotypical.
vibe, but you're an ISTP.
One question I have, I guess. I feel like FE for me, I don't I don't know. FE to me is like not something that I really understanding. I would never consider myself a TI user. At least that was my preconceived notion.
Why not?
Well, go ahead, answer the question. But
I guess because I just
I mean, I guess what do you think TI is?
well, look, here's the thing.
I have trouble putting them into words.
On the
See,
value
that's polar NE.
on the value question, you answered it actually as a TE dom might in theory, in sort of the abstract, because
Yeah.
I asked you, what's more important for yourself, fairness or efficiency, and you wobbled. I said, what's more important for other people? You said fairness. Now, according to my basic model, your fifth slot absolute value is how you judge the external world. So, in that sense, you're answering that one question would be consistent with a TI fifth slot person. But you are not a TE dom. There's the reason you're not TE dom are myriad, but it's about having an entire utility frame. The reality is you probably judge other people and the rest of the world according to utility and efficiency. Now, that doesn't mean the more useful and efficient you are, the higher you judge them, because the fifth slot function is kind of a binary thing. It's pass-fail. If you have to at least be somewhat useful and validate on efficiency metrics somewhat to be considered legitimate in your eyes. But ultimately, you're really about, as yourself, fairness in the sense TI. Things need to make sense. Things need to be logically consistent. When you were watching C.S. Joseph, it was frustrating to you because you weren't getting any meat. You were just getting TE. Now, you validated him for a while because TE in the fifth slot means you validate the external world on TE. You saw him trying to be useful. So
Right.
he loves to give advice to people. Here's how ISTPs can be more productive. Or here's how Mia can be Mia. Here's how Mia can be. That's all TE stuff. It's saying the reason we make statements about cognitive functions is not because they are true and help us to understand. The reason cognitive function statements exist at all is because they justify advice or narrow the terms of advice. So it's entirely a purpose or utility frame. You don't seem to have that. And also, like Rachel said, there's lots of indications of any polar. That idea that you have trouble putting it into words, that's any polar ultimately.
Makes sense.
And there aren't any TE DOMs that are any polar.
Oh.
I guess the question I have, I don't know if this is common for ISTPs, but when I'm like a really emotional person, like a lot of the time, and I've cried like a lot in my life, especially like even like around other people. Like when I don't know if it was obvious. I guess it wouldn't be, but I'm like really tall. I'm 6'8", and I played basketball in high school, and I felt like a kind of like a pressure to like be like the man like on the court at all times. And sometimes I could pull it off, but a lot of the time I couldn't. Like I would kind of just like I don't know, like my body would just kind of like shut down. It was like really, I don't know if that really has anything to do with the function.
Okay, well, it does. It's what you're describing sounds to me like fourth slot FE, which is to say, you're concerned at some point when you're on the court about others' perceptions of you and your role in the hierarchy leadership department, right?
Mhm.
But it's asking a lot of you because in the fourth slot, it means you're kind of a baby about it. So I don't mind doing SI stuff when it's the SI stuff I want to do. When it's like when I feel like wanting to take a bath, it's important that I be able to do SI stuff. But I don't. I mostly SI is going to just interfere with what I am and wanting to pay attention to. So the thing is, as an ISTP, you would feel burdened by having to pay attention to those FE considerations, especially in an environment that is asking you to normally just rely on your tool function and your dominant function. But because of you're basically saying the thing you didn't like about basketball was troublesome for you was the social aspect of it, the FE aspect of it, and the fact that you were
It
both
wasn't.
aware of it. The fact that you were both aware of it and it sort of dragged you down a bit is textbook fourth slot.
Did you not want to let your team down?
It wasn't just that. Like, I also like just wanted to be good. Like, I just wanted to be good at basketball, and like, no matter like what I did, like I just felt like it might have been like the coaching. Like, I just felt like no matter what I did, I just couldn't. Like in the moment, I just couldn't like comprehend like the game. Like I don't know. So that's like why I'm. That's like just an example of like why SE second is really just hard for me to
Okay,
kind of.
so this is something it's kind of a huge point actually, in my understanding of cognitive functions right now, and in general, in sort of getting this whole thing figured out. My daughter is an SE dom, but she too is on the taller side, and she too was no natural athlete. She never was. Now she's not clumsy in the sense that she doesn't really bump into shit like Rachel and I do all the time, but she wasn't good at sports, and the one that she was best at was volleyball, and
Me too.
that was because it didn't require her to move deftly, and
Yeah.
and the thing about that is there's these quick release and slow release muscles or something like that. Maybe not called release, quick trigger and slow trigger or something. There's two kinds of muscles, and the most natural athletes are those. They have a high amount of those quick ones, and people who don't have a high amount of those quick ones, that also tends to go correlate with being taller. So it's like there's a physical reason why you and me too also and Delilah. Now for me, it's consistent with cognitive functions, but for you two, it's inconsistent with the conventional understanding of SE, which says SE means you're good at sports. SE doesn't mean you're good at sports. SE means you are attentive to the external data realm in the world. You're not going to be. It means you're less likely to get snuck up on by somebody, for example, than an intuitive. You're less likely to be so lost in your heads that you run into a pole than an intuitive because you're extrovertedly sensing as a default nature. However, it doesn't necessarily mean you're good at sports because the functional application of SE is to execute things.
Right.
Most of the things in the world nowadays are not physical activities that need to be executed. There are other things that need to be executed. So being an executive just means, one, if you're an SE DOM, you're an action type. But as an SE tool function user, you are a deliberation type, which means you're still going to be the same kind of frame of reference as, say, an INTP who wants to have it thought out before you act. However, the difference is if you don't act after you've thought it out, it's not because you want to come up with more possible things to think about. It's because, for whatever reason, you didn't act even though you've decided it. Once you've determined a thing with your TI, you put it to bed. You understand there's no longer any purpose in deliberating about it. The SE thing, it means that you should be more opportunistic. So it's like if you are at a bar or something and there's a good opportunity to move on a chick and you feel like doing it, you probably will. But you might not feel like doing it. ISTPs are kind of sensitive. They're kind of sensitive, and they're not very sensitive about other people's feelings, typically.
I would disagree with that. I'm actually like, I feel like I'm really sensitive about other people's feelings.
You think you're
Ideally-
sensitive about other people's feelings?
I feel like I am. I feel like that's
Um,
a thing to me.
Ideally, an ENFJ chick just approaches them at the bar, and then they can just hit it off.
Okay, so here's the thing, Nate. You do seem, in general, more, um, I guess, emotionally cautious, and
Yeah, it doesn't seem like an
than
aim.
most ISTPs. So I want to throw out the possibility that you could be an ISFP that's got really good TI. Eight slot TI can sometimes be very good. Now, we didn't really test the living hell out of your TI, although I did a fairly robust test of it. It seems better than eighth slot, but it's not out of the realm of possibilities. At least it would explain the NE polar either way.
If you want me to, the type I thought I was coming into this was INTJ.
Is that possible too?
It came across
I
my
don't
mind at
think
one
so.
point, but then I changed my mind.
No, I don't think so, because INTJs typically do pretty well on any tests, like a lot of the time. At least okay.
That's the most dramatic reason why I'm going to nix INTJ as well, is because it every NE test I gave you hit polar.
Yeah, I definitely see it in myself. I definitely am not like creative like that. I definitely can't just come up with come up with shit. It's really hard for me.
Usually NI DOMs, they don't normally just randomly come up with shit, but when prompted to do so, they go, "Oh, you mean this?" and they come up with shit. So it's like that's what it means to be on the backside and ignoring.
Right.
So I'm going to stick with ISTP. INTJ is not a bad mistyping for yourself, because the TI DOM and TE tool, the INTJ has better TI than most than the other TE tool, which is ISTJ generally. But I don't think it's that good. It's not as good as yours. And regardless, it's not a terrible mistyping because the values are kind of similar. You both types value TE. Because in the ICP it's fifth slot, and in the INTJ it's second slot, and both types value NI because ISTP is in the third slot and INTJ is in the dominant slot. So for those reasons, in terms of primary positive values, they're kind of the same primary positive values, those two types.
Okay.
And so it's easy in that regard to say, wow, if I read about how values are of these types, I sound like an INTJ maybe. But if you look at the actual skills test, it tells us you're ISTP.
Okay.
All right.
I'm happy with that answer, honestly.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
All right.
All right. See you later.
See you.